Bree's diamond ring fell into the swimming pool. The two sisters quickly dived to get it, but instead of finding the ring, Gianna's hair got caught in the filter. Bree immediately rushed over to help her sister. What they didn't know was that a bigger danger was about to come. The pool manager, McGrady, thought everyone had left. He pressed the button to close the pool and headed home. Suddenly, the massive fiberglass cover started sliding shut. Bree saw it coming and desperately pulled Gianna's hair free. They raced to the surface, but it was too late. The pool cover sealed them underwater. The sisters screamed for help, but the building was silent and empty. They pushed the cover with all their strength, but it wouldn't budge. Even worse, the pool had closed for the week. Facing total despair, the sisters searched desperately for an exit. They spotted a tiny hole in the cover, but it was far too small. Even a hand couldn't fit through. Bree found a plastic board and tried to widen the hole. She struggled hard, but the hole stayed the same. The hopeless situation caused Gianna to lose her temper completely. She blamed everything on Bree. If it wasn't for the stupid ring, they wouldn't be trapped. Bree didn't want to argue, so she dived back underwater alone. This time, she retrieved the ring, but she also noticed something important. The drainage grate under her feet was loose. If they could use that grate, maybe they could smash the cover. Bree pulled with all her might, but it wouldn't move. She desperately asked Gianna for help, but Gianna dismissed it as a bad idea. At that moment, Bree's fiancé, David, called her phone. Bree's eyes filled with hope, certain David would come save them. But as afternoon turned to sunset, the phone rang countless times, yet David never showed up. Then suddenly, the timed pool lights switched off. Complete darkness surrounded them. Bree held her head, pale and miserable. She was diabetic and desperately needed insulin, but the medicine was in her bag outside the pool. Seeing Bree suffer, Gianna finally calmed down. She quietly picked up the plastic board and began working on widening the hole again. The two sisters had been trapped in the pool for 4 hours. Suddenly, the pool lights turned back on. It was Clara, the night shift cleaner. Seeing someone approach, the sisters pounded on the cover and screamed for help, but Clara ignored their desperate cries. Instead, she started rummaging through Bree's wallet. Finding only a little cash and one bank card, Clara looked disappointed. Then she switched off the pool's security cameras. She walked calmly over to the trapped sisters and began to chat casually. Turns out Clara had recently gotten out of jail for theft. She owed a lot of money, had a daughter at home, and desperately needed cash. Her plan was simple: extort money from the two sisters. Clara demanded the PIN to Bree's bank card. Only then did the sisters realize they were being blackmailed. Gianna got so furious she cursed Clara out. Clara became enraged and immediately switched off the pool's heating system. The water started growing colder and colder. Bree thought about it carefully, then finally gave Clara her PIN number. But Clara wanted to verify it first, saying she'd free them once she returned. The sisters shivered miserably in the freezing water, desperately waiting for Clara. Finally, Clara returned, but still didn't open the cover. When asked why, Clara looked angry and accused them of tricking her. "There was only $80 in your account, are you kidding me?" she yelled. Gianna begged Clara to let them out. She explained Bree had diabetes and urgently needed insulin to survive, but Clara didn't believe them at all. Watching Bree grow weaker and weaker, Gianna hated Clara deeply. She decided to get revenge on the cruel woman. She tricked Clara into coming closer to the hole. She successfully hurt her, but at what cost? Clara, completely enraged, went straight to the controls and activated the pool's cleaning system. Suddenly, chlorine gas shot into the pool with immense force. The powerful streams made the sisters dizzy and disoriented. They struggled desperately, and the already weak Bree sank underwater. Gianna panicked, quickly pulling Bree back to the small hole for air. Seeing the sisters nearly drowning, Clara decided she didn't want anyone dying on her watch. She switched off the cleaning system. Then Clara returned and demanded Bree's diamond ring. Bree hesitated, but she had no choice, and reluctantly handed it over. Looking at the ring, Clara thought she could sell it for decent money. Realizing she had nothing else to squeeze from them, Clara finally went to the control room, preparing to open the pool cover. But when Clara entered the code to open the pool cover, it showed an error. Turns out, McGrady had already changed the password. Now Clara panicked. If she couldn't get them out, the two sisters were doomed. But remembering her earlier blackmail, she didn't dare call for help or tell anyone. She had just gotten out of jail, and the last thing she wanted was to go back. Finally, Clara decided to abandon the sisters, leaving them to their fate. Seeing their hope vanish again, Gianna cursed angrily. But when she turned around, Bree had already passed out. Without insulin immediately, Bree would surely die. Their only remaining chance was the metal grate underwater, but Gianna was terrified. Earlier, her hair had gotten caught underwater, nearly drowning her. Still, she realized she was Bree's only hope. Gathering all her courage, she dove underwater and pulled at the grate with all her strength. The first try failed. The second try failed too. Finally, she found a swimsuit strap to use as a handle. This time, she succeeded. Quickly surfacing, Gianna smashed the metal grate against the pool cover. A crack appeared. She smashed harder and harder, and more cracks formed. With a loud snap, the cover finally broke open. Gianna immediately dragged Bree onto land and injected her with insulin. Bree slowly regained consciousness. Just as Gianna breathed a sigh of relief, she looked up. Clara had come back again, this time holding a gun pointed directly at them. Clara feared that if the sisters survived, they would definitely report her to the police. So she decided to eliminate that risk herself. Gianna hugged Bree tightly, crying and promising Clara they wouldn't tell anyone. But Clara didn't believe her, stepping closer and closer. In desperation, Gianna remembered Clara's weak spot. "If you kill us," she shouted, "what will happen to your daughter?" This struck Clara deeply. She slowly lowered her gun, then returned Bree's ring. Gianna quickly called 911, and true to her word, she allowed Clara to leave. Finally, the two sisters were safe. So the lesson from this story: never wear jewelry while swimming, and always wear a swim cap.